God willing, you're a few days away.
I wanted to ask you about this. So
Sure.
it's a very strange phrasing. I've heard it before. I
Hmm.
never questioned it until it became personal.
Yeah.
Um, in the name of Jesus. So if you are
Hmm.
invoking healing and you say in the name of Jesus, you're not saying, Jesus, heal this guy. Sounds to me like you're appealing to some third party, whether that's God or angels or something, or the body, I don't know, or a demon, but you're saying in the name of Jesus. So have you ever explored what that means?
Might be biblical that where Jesus says at some point in the Bible, I'm not 100% sure on this, but he says, when you invoke my name, there will be powers.
I see. I tried again to watch The Chosen. This is the second time, and
Yeah.
it's so slow
Yeah.
and nothing's happening. So I watched Walking Dead instead.
Yeah. No, nothing wrong with that at all.
But then front and center is a statue of Jesus on the cross. It's the point of view, like super close-ups, and then point of view from there looking down at the guy, and he's basically saying, the world's full of zombies. He's like, I've never been a religious person, but I really need a sign right now. Um, and then he leaves the church, and this his compatriot says, "Did you get what you were looking for?" He goes, "We'll see." And I don't want to be a spoiler in case anyone watches this, but shortly after that, his son gets shot. So it's going to be
Mhm.
very interesting to see, like I I'm sure this kid's not going to die in the show because he's 12. They don't kill 12-year-olds.
I hope not.
Um, so, I think it does point to this thing we've been talking about, which is you might ask for a sign or you might ask for a life trajectory that brings surrender and humility. And the result may be a lot of terrible things happen because that's how you find faith or humility.
Mhm.
If you just got what you wanted, it would be a different kind of exchange.
Exactly.
Um, and that led me to what I emailed you with respect to the um, five elements of Chinese medicine, because
Hmm.
I'm very concerned that I will have resentments. Um, I think I'm more concerned about it not working and it being blamed on my resentments as opposed to it not working because of my resentments. It's a subtle distinction there.
Well, it's
But in any,
interesting.
what's that?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But my point being that when you look at the chart, anger is wood and it's cut away by the axe, which is metal, which is boundaries, which is grief. And so I thought, oh, this is fascinating. It's like you go into, if you have resentments, you shift it to grief. So like, for example, with my ex-wife, I could easily get into resentment, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the fear I'm going to be alone, the fear that she's depleted my money, the fear I'll never meet anybody again, which is
Mhm,
all
mhm.
probably true. And then instead I go to the grief of it. I'm not blaming her. I'm just sad that I don't have anybody. I don't have anything.
Right.
And that you go into a healing with grief, that's fine. And then I thought about, on the chart, sympathy cultivates grief. So the more sympathy
Mhm,
the deeper you can go into your grief. And the
mhm.
statue of Jesus in this episode, and I've seen it in churches before, he's not angry. He's not peaceful. He's like downtrodden, bleeding, really full of grief. Why hast thou
Mhm.
forsaken me? So
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what gets evoked in the parishioners and the observer of the statue is they get in touch with their grief over, if the story is true, if God
Mhm.
created a son and then we executed that son. There's no part of the Bible where he sends down lightning bolts like in the Old Testament. It's like that would be the God we would expect. He's like, okay, you're gonna kill my son, I'm gonna blow up your town. So instead, it's just this image of grief which evokes the sympathy in the person, which then moves them away from their resentments because it softens that anger
Yeah,
in them. We are multiple selves. We're not one person. So we can easily go down the road of resentment. We can work ourselves up into a frenzy, or you might put it in the terms of the devil can move us into resentment, whatever phrasing you want to use.
Mhm.
So what I've been saying is that when I go through the chakras and I get to the fifth chakra, I say, if redemptive suffering is a thing, if restorative suffering is a thing, I'd like to humbly evoke that. I'd like to
Yeah.
my pain to go to help someone else. And I forgive everyone. And if there's any hidden resentments in me, let those dissolve. And if they have to dissolve into grief, okay, that's fine. I
Yeah.
can handle the grief. So I just don't know. I mean, it's like I think if you have resentments, if you, I think in order to know you have resentments, there has to be a churning anger in you. And the
Right.
only churning anger I've had recently is towards that housemate, which is
Right.
when I go to praying for joy, peace, and love for her, and then
Mm-hmm.
secondly, all life forms. So I
Mm-hmm.
dissolve it that way. And then I also feel it when I see these amazing mansions of Montecito, like these estates, these that are empty. People have in their other home, or their other home, so, or Donald Trump. So I just try to confess that that's happening, and I know that's not who I want to be. But,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think, I think it's very rare that a person is devoid of resentments. The question I think is, what is on the mind? What is on your mind at the time of the miracle cure happening? That seems
Yeah.
to me to
Yeah.
be the key. And so I have to hand it over because I don't know what's going to pop in my mind at that moment. But I'm hoping
Right.
it'll be mostly blank, and I'll muster as much faith that I can, which is why I wanted to do a video call instead of a phone call, because I thought, well, maybe if I read his energy,
Yeah.
I will be more struck by it, and then I will be more humble,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. No, well, the good news here, Jordan, is hearing you talk, it's plain to me that you don't have any deep-rooted resentments, which would be the real problem.
Okay.
Maybe you have surface level resentments that are just in passing when you pass by a mansion, when the lady makes you upset. Those are just passing resentments that arise in the moment. The
Okay.
real danger is having deep-rooted resentments towards someone who hurt you from your past,
Right.
right? And it seems to me that you are devoid of that, which is the key. Passing resentments as they arise, you just humbly ask God to remove them. Lord, I don't want to feel this way. Please take this from me. Lord, I don't want to be resentful of the person who owns this mansion. Lord, I don't want to be resentful of this woman who's unnecessarily mean to me. Please remove this from my heart. So you can get rid of those as they come. The good news is you don't have any deep-rooted resentments, which is really the blockade.
All right, so then all we have to work on is my doubt. Like the latest one was like,
Right.
what if it happens? And then I'm like, wow, the placebo effect is really powerful. My mind is so powerful. And I'm like, I keep saying to
Yeah.
myself, I don't imagine that my mind could do this because it's too, I think like if I was in a church and there were 300 people praying for me, and the guy puts, a guy I used to know had this happen to me. He's in church, these people are praying for him. The guy touches his third eye, and boom, he is born again. That I could be like, well, he's swept up in the moment. It's a lot of people and a lot of love. But
Yeah.
me, this is just some person on Zoom who's probably going to be pretty mild-mannered. So if it
Right.
happens, I don't think I would attribute it to my own inner mental healing. I think it would be,
Yeah. That would be hard for me to fathom just because you said you've been dealing with these intense migraines for 3 years now,
yeah,
and they've been very consistent and debilitating.
yeah,
Um, and nothing has been able to work or
yeah,
make them vanquish. So if in the moment you have a piercing migraine as per usual, and he says the prayer and you feel it melting away, it'd be hard for me to fathom um, after that happening because
yeah,
that would clearly be a miracle. But
yeah,
I would just encourage you not to worry about how you're going to feel. Just
yeah,
let God do his thing. The toil and snare of the world, a lot of stuff weighs us down and gives us certain perspectives. That all has to be completely put to the side. Blank mind is good, humble mind, uh, spirit of surrender, and full childlike faith and belief. And I truly don't see why it won't happen. I mean, as I've mentioned to you, he's healed people of migraines before. He with a capital H through with my spiritual director being the vessel. Um, migraines it'd be very easy for him to do, and I don't see why he wouldn't, because ultimately he wants all of his children to come into loving relationship with him. And if that's what he wants, then of course I believe he's going to allow this healing in order that you may start a lifelong relationship with him. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't even consider the possibility of it not working or how am I going to feel or react if it does work, like irrelevant. All that should be in your mind is boom, Lord, let thy holy will be done. I humbly ask for these migraines to be removed. I know that you're the one that can do it. I believe that you're the one that can do it. If it is your holy will, please allow these migraines to leave me so that I can come to you. You know, however you want to word it, as long as it's from the heart. Um, but yeah, I don't see any deep-rooted resentment, so you don't have to worry about that. Just any that arise in the day, whether you pass by a mansion, whether the lady's mean to you, just practice giving it to God in that moment. And other than that, just yeah, childlike faith and belief, and something pretty awesome is going to happen on Saturday. Don't worry about what happens after. God's got you.